Took the big one off the roof. It was real heavy, so I lost some weight there, and I gained weight here, and I gained weight with the solar panels. So I'm towing about 3,000 pounds to begin with, dry weight. Taking, you take off a little bit, add a little bit. I've taken out the furnace, taken off the heavy air conditioner, and then I've added a lot of weight. I've added all these panels and 450 pounds of batteries. And they're sitting, batteries are under the bench inside here, sitting above the axle. So you really need to pay attention where you put that much weight.
Right. Want to check out that air conditioner then?
Yeah, what I did was it fit perfect in that back window. I see somebody on YouTube did that. I thought, well, I can do that. I saved the glass and everything, so if I change my mind, I can put it all back together the way it was. But it's a 5,000 BTU air conditioner. Like I mentioned before, you can hear that scupper. There's a little scupper on that fan inside there that's picking up that water and flipping it around. So it's a good idea to keep this full of water. That makes these a lot more efficient. I built some jacks for a generator, but this is for the 3,000 watt generator I had. I've gone down to an 800 watt generator. A lot cheaper. They're about 300 bucks. You can get different brands of these 800 watt inverter generators. It's really important to do the inverter generator part. But I've seen them, not this brand, but other brands that are inverter generators that have a really high rating. I've seen them on eBay for 250 bucks. The idea is when I don't have sunshine hitting the solar panels, I run this and plug in the converter. So it converts from 120 down to 12 volt, charges the batteries, and then the batteries is connected to this 1,500 watt inverter here.
What brand is that?
That is a Windy Nation. I got it off eBay. They're about 200 bucks. I love it. You can set when it kicks off. There's some switches somewhere. I've got it set to kick off at the highest voltage at 11.8 volts. And then I just secured it with some copper wire here to this piping of the refrigerator. This is a refrigerator, back of the fridge here. I've got not a composting toilet, but I've got a 5-gallon bucket sitting right exactly where the old toilet used to be. And those old toilets are a 3-inch black pipe. I believe it's called ABS, and the flange just unscrews, and then I screwed in a cap for it, drilled a hole in it, and that's where the urine goes. So now the black tank is for urine only. I've got a urine diverter, basically a funnel inside that 5-gallon bucket that the urine goes down, and then and when it gets to the bottom of the bucket, it comes back up a little bit and then goes down and drops into the black tank. And that's all the black tank does right now. The way it's set up in there is collects the urine.
And what do you do with the feces?
Feces is there's a plastic bag inside of that bucket, and it kind of makes its way around the funnel I got in there. And was going to go with compost, wood chips, that kind of thing, sawdust. I thought, well, I'm not in the composting business with that stuff. I'm in to just use cat litter. This was vented. This black tank here was vented. And what I did is I cut a little hole in the side of the vent pipe that goes up and put a little teeny fan in there, and I got a switch. And it sucks. You can take like a cigar or cigarette and create smoke in there, and you can actually watch that smoke go down that urine diverter funnel that I've got in there. The smoke will go down through there and back out, so it vents the bad smells. I put indoor-outdoor carpet in it. I love this stuff. I got it at Lowe's. It doesn't fray. It's just loose lay. You can set it in here and cut it to fit, and then when it gets all messed up, you can take it out and use it for pattern and trace another piece of carpet. It sweeps up really good. I've got got a vacuum, but I don't think I'm going to use it because this just, you know, I just love this. It helps keep it cool in here and in the summer and warm in the winter. And it's really cheap, really cheap.
So it's 19 foot, but it's really all you need. A couple could live in here if they have to.
I like the floor plan. It works out pretty good. I've rearranged a few cabinets. This cabinet wasn't here because there was a bed assembly here that laid down. I got rid of that and pulled the doors off, and I think I put one door here and one door over there, and I just made another cupboard. In the winter time I'll be using this. In the summertime, not so much, maybe outside because it puts out heat and I'm fighting the heat in here. Everything that creates heat, I put outside. I've got just a lot of junk. I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress. It's not, I haven't really moved anything into it yet. I'm still putting things where I think they ought to go, and then a lot of times I'll change my mind and put them somewhere else and do something different. There's a lot of that going on here, but
right. Always is.
I really like the way it's turning out. I like the way the air conditioner's working. It's been on for about an hour. And
it's wonderful in here.
It is.
I was really boiling outside, and I'm just really happy right now.
The humidity was terrible, and I can do that with solar and batteries. That right there is the opening I cut for the air conditioner. I'm going to eventually make bigger ductwork for that, but you can see when you step into the bathroom that I've kind of rigged it up so there's kind of ductwork coming up and over and back and blowing the air conditioning in here.
The main thing in the bathroom is right here. Is the AC sticks through, we can hear it running, and you've created ductwork just out of Reflectix.
And tape.
That must go in through here. Can I open this?
Yeah, go ahead.
So it goes up. Here's the fridge.
And there's a little chaseway back there. There's room for improvement. This is kind of proof of concept here. I'd like to have a bigger tubing. I think it would work better if it was carried more air.
So that just comes out, and that's what we're seeing on the outside.
That's right.
Just kind of a homemade, inexpensive ductwork anybody can make. Anybody with a pair of scissors.
Right.
And since you have so much solar, you're using electric for cooking.
Absolutely, yeah. I've got one of these new wave induction cooktops. This works really well on the what is it? Yeah, the inverter, the full sine wave inverter. These don't work very good on the modified sine waves inverters. I've got a switch for it down there. I open that door and I can turn the inverter on and off, which is pretty handy. People can probably do a lot better than I've done on this electrical, but I've added a stereo and speakers, and I've got two charge controllers I really like really well. The Sun Yoba, I believe it's called. They're just, people call them the cheap Chinese charge controllers, but I really love them. These are both made by the same company. I think Renergy's, I've seen Renergy's name on one exactly like this. But I got this one off eBay for 30 bucks. I think this was about 30 bucks. This is a 60 amp. Most of my panels are going through that. And this is a 40 amp. But you got to get a lot bigger than what you're running on your panels. Otherwise they get hot and they'll create heat in your trailer.
Very, very simple, very basic, working supremely well.
Yes, I'm pleased with the way it works, and happy to show it to people. I hope it inspires them like I've been inspired by people on YouTube. Now this is another...
Yeah, this is an ingenious thing you've done here.
Yeah.
This is going to take a little bit of explaining.
Yeah, now there's people that are building these kind of stoves out of ammo boxes that are really quite ingenious. But the whole idea, in my mind, first off, I hated the furnace in these things, but the whole idea is to exhaust your fumes. So I did cut a hole up here and stuck this pipe out there. This is, you can get exhaust pipe. Works really good for this. This is an 8-inch stovepipe T. I went down to the...
This big thing right here.
This here, yeah. This is the T, and this is part of that T, and then there's part of it here. And I went down to a thrift shop and I seen that, and I seen this pressure cooker here that was the bottom to the pressure cooker and the top to the pressure cooker.
Well, this is just a cheap pressure cooker you found at the thrift store.
Yeah, I paid $5 for this. I think $8 for the pressure cooker. That this is the lid to it. This is the bottom of it. And then there was a metal plate that I needed to. I bought for a couple of dollars. So, and they're $3 or $4, maybe, I don't know, maybe $10 worth of pipe here.
Isn't there a concern with zinc?
Galvanized.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is galvanized, but it doesn't get hot enough to cause a problem. It hasn't been an issue. But
so now most people are assuming right now that you're burning wood.
well, it will burn wood if you want, but it's a lot better if you burn kerosene.
So you have a little kerosene stove in there.
Yeah, and I need to cut this stuff down a little bit more. I've modified it. You can see I've cut it up and that, but it's about a $20 item you can get off eBay, and it has little arms that stick up and a place to set a frying pan. But what I did is I took and cut all of the stuff off and made it so it'll fit. I've cut this down, and as you see, I need to cut it down a little more. That's not a problem. And unscrew it, fill it with kerosene. It comes with cotton wicks, and I replaced them with fiberglass, and it works a whole lot better. But you can see I can adjust the heat here up and down with that thing. You turn it all the way down and it pretty much goes off. I do have a piece here that helps it to totally extinguish. But this is a $20–25 item off eBay that you can take outside and cook on it if you want. I could, if I wanted to use wood, if I run out of kerosene, I could use wood in there, but I don't want to. This is so much easier and cheap. Before I go to bed, I just open that up, fill it up with kerosene, put that back on, twist it on tight, and set it in here, and then light it up.
And it keeps the little trailer pretty warm.
It does an excellent job. It really does an excellent job. That combined with this little fan here, actually I've got two fans that are back to back, and then I can turn this little switch on.
Oh yeah.
And then
that pushes air down.
That pushes air down and spreads it out. Plus I put a little boiler observation, I can't remember what it is, sight glass for a boiler. I picked that up. It's really cheap. It's just a piece of glass and silicone that in there, so you get a nice fireplace effect off of that. And then I've got air. I made this little thing where you can let air in and let air out.
I'm a genius. That's just pure ingenious.
This is cement board that I had laying around. This is some 1x1 tubing I had laying around. So all this stuff, there's just kind of parts and pieces I had. I didn't really spend a lot of money on this. I think the whole thing is probably $40. Now I can show you this bed, how it slides out. It's people might think, well, is that going to be a problem with that?
So you're a couple, so you have someone else with you. Oh yeah, that couldn't be any easier. Well, Ron, thank you so much. I really appreciate your showing us so many good creative ideas that you've got here.
Well, I appreciate you and what you're doing, because you're the inspiration for a lot of this, you and the people that follow you. And
well, Ron, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope all of you out there have learned something and gained lots of different creative ideas here. So thanks for watching, and subscribe to the channel, like us on YouTube, and we'll see you later.